Thank you so much. Listen to that dynamic recycling team. Good morning, team, and thank you for being here this morning. You know, you have some work to do. Well, first of all, the work is going on because the phones are ringing. But you guys have been the top fundraiser miracle team for 2 years in a row. Gonna make it 3. All right. Our daily sponsor today is Oral Surgery Clinic of La Crosse. Been with us a long time, and we thank them for that. 784-KIDS, 784-5437. Joni Smith, the Family Interview Area, brought to you by Castle Realty this morning. And we have Samantha and Bennett here this morning, starting out our early morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you brought Bennett with you today, a 1-year-old, an active 1-year-old, cute as a button. And you've also brought something else with you that I can say I haven't seen before. We've been having quite a conversation. Let's start out with the beginning of Bennett's story, when you noticed something was just a little different.
When Bennett was about 2 months old, I noticed that his skull was very misshaped. So I took him to the doctor thinking something was severely wrong, and they told us that he had plagiocephaly, and that he was born with torticollis, which is the tightening of muscles in the neck. So when he would lay, he would only lay his head to the right because his neck muscles were so tight on that side. That's the only way his head would turn.
Some of those words that you just threw out there, first of all, I've never heard before, and they seem like they have become a normal part of your vocabulary at your house.
Plagiocephaly is the bone. The skull bones are not shaped correctly. They are flat, and the forehead protrudes forward, and the back of the skull is flat in one area. And so we took him to the doctor, and we did physical therapy, and he did improve the tightening of his neck muscles, but his head continued to become crooked. And eventually the PT decided that he would benefit from a helmet. And when we went to go see the orthotist, he was diagnosed with severe asymmetrical brachiocephaly, which is the uneven part of the back of his head, and it was severely crooked.
Okay, so to me, it sounds like he has an issue that you need some more help with. So your next move?
We took it to the insurance, which at this time he was about 6 to 8 months old. And he was denied the coverage of his helmet because it was considered cosmetic.
Now, we had the helmet around here somewhere. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's under me. And first of all, I don't believe I've ever seen a helmet that is for this specific purpose. So the helmet itself, this lightweight, generally lightweight plastic that kind of has like a foam internal, padding on the inside. This helmet, what is the cost of this helmet?
The cost of an orthotic helmet for an infant is $1,500.
Okay. And then as Bennett's head would grow, you'd have to have alterations done to the inside.
Yes.
So altogether, what would this, you called it a global?
A global cost, which means that it's one concrete cost for everything, all shavings, all appointments with the orthotist, nurses, anything like that. They don't charge per visit. It is one global payment through the insurance. That's what they call it. And the cost total was $4,039.
Now, to me, from the outside looking in, I would say, okay, this is something that the insurance company will help you with. It didn't go like that.
No, I fought with the insurance company for coverage for about 6 months, and I fought them tooth and nail up until the last option I had, and it was still denied.
Okay, so then somewhere along the line, somebody said, you know what? You need to hook up with Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and is that what happened next?
Yep, so they had made their decision on the day that we went into the final interview for the appeal, and they said no, but they didn't give me the answer right away because our patient advocate through the insurance company was looking for options for us, and then they told us about the Children's Miracle Network, and I applied right away that week.
And what happened?
I honestly was not hopeful because I had been turned down several times. However, they called me about 2 weeks later, and they covered $3,000 of my global payment to Gunderson for the helmet.
My guess is that hit you emotionally.
Very much so. I was bawling when I got that phone call.
Yeah. because that is a huge help. And you don't know when you need help.
No.
And for something that you would assume might be, taken care of with insurance and it's not, then all of a sudden, as a family unit, you're looking at another $4,000 over that's probably not in the monthly budget.
No.
So, another one of those things where all of a sudden somebody is looking out for you. And when you know that this organization exists, and today I know what you're doing, you're giving back to Children's Miracle Network hospitals by coming in and sharing your story.
And I'm going to be also starting to donate to them because the money goes to the right place. It doesn't just go for children in the hospital, which is an amazing thing because they do so many things for the family and children in the hospitals. But they do also help children that are not hospitalized with needs that they have that the average family cannot necessarily cover the costs for.
So, Samantha, this is amazing because of all the families and stories that we hear, they're all so special in their own special way. But here is a way the Children's Miracle Network hospitals jumped in because insurance didn't.
Correct.
It just blows me away that there's so many different opportunities there. So what we're going to do, we have 7 calls already. I don't know if you know that.
Wonderful.
So Bennett's a very special little guy this morning, and he is really making that phone ring. Dynamic Recycling, they're over there answering the calls. 784-KIDS, 784-5437. It's the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals Radiothon, and we're going to go for 10 calls. Right out of the bat this morning, right out of the gate. You think we can do it?
I think we can.
I think we can at 784-KIDS, 784-5437. So what we're going to do is, what's next for Bennett?
He actually had his last appointment about 2 weeks ago where they said he graduated from his helmet. He had it on for 4.5 months, and his head has moved 2 inches in the correct direction because of the helmets and the help of the orthotics department. And now we are just going to let him be a normal child without his helmet.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but he graduated from the helmet. Okay, because things are going in the right direction. Did that scare him? Oh, honey.
That's okay.
Yeah, but we're celebrating. You know what? Now we're up to 8 calls. We're up to 8 calls.
Great. Thank you so much.
So, you know what? This has got to make a difference in your daily routine. Now, you told me that when Bennett was wearing it, he was okay with it. Mm-hmm. And how many hours a day did he have to wear it?
It is quite a commitment to get an orthotic helmet for an infant. He has to wear it 23 hours a day, and he can only have it off for 1 hour a day.
So you have a little guy under a year old wearing a helmet 23 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Now, you said it was okay when he had it on, but the trick was when it came off for that hour and then putting it back on?
Correct. It's a really difficult thing to get that back on his head. He has a big head. So he did not necessarily like it going back on. But once it was on, he was fine.
So now when you're putting him in the car seat and you guys are going out to the grocery store or you're going to daycare, wherever it is you have to go, he's not with the helmet. Do you feel a little more like a normal kid?
Yes.
That feels good?
He was normal before, but
I would imagine sometimes when you have, like anything, when a child is in a specialized chair or a specialized sling or cast or whatever the case may be, it's nice to be able, he can just run around like everybody else.
Yep.
Now, I see he took a digger.
He did.
Yeah, at daycare. Yeah. But he's a typical 1-year-old.
Yep.
Are you scared when that happens? Does that frighten you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because you just don't want anything to undo anything that's been going on, I would imagine.
Right.
Yeah. But, they're going to do that.
Right.
And he has a sister at home and a brother at home?
2 sisters.
2 sisters at home. Mm-hmm. And how old are they?
My oldest is Allie, and she is 7. I have a 2-year-old named Sophie.
Oh, so Sophie and Bennett are very close together in age.
Yes, they are.
So I would imagine Sophie is probably loving on her little brother frequently.
She does.
Okay. All right. And that's how Bennett got his nickname. Can you tell us how he got his nickname?
The day we came home from the hospital, my daughter was about 1 and 3 or 4 months. And we put him in his rock and play, and they all have nicknames that start with a B. And we were really struggling with a nickname for Bennett. But we came home, and he was sitting in his rocking play, and Sophie walked up to the rocking play, and we go, "Sophie, say hello to your little buddy." She goes, "Hello, Bubby," just because she couldn't pronounce buddy. and Bubby kind of stuck, so his nickname is Bubby.
I can't think of a better reason to have a nickname like Bubby. Hi, Bubby. See, he knows. He knows.
Oh, yes.
We're up to 9 calls. We have one
Great.
more to go. We'll do it. 784-KIDS, 784-5437. We have the Dynamic Recycling Team with us. You know, the reason that, we're going to have to tone it down. Bennett doesn't like that.
No, he's
Okay.
made that very well known.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. We're not going to do that anymore. But you know what? The reason they're so enthusiastic is because they had bacon from Big Boar this morning.
And I had a piece, and it was delicious.
Well, actually, they provided our whole breakfast this morning.
Yes.
But we had a little issue this morning. We had a little technical issue because there was no regular coffee. There was decaf, but there was no regular. So one of our radio stations that is also airing this today is Eagle 102.7, and Dave Kennedy is up there. If Dave Kennedy does not get his coffee first thing in the morning, it's bad. So what we did at Gunderson Health System, we got security to actually go and find the coffee refill because this was an emergency. You know what we did? We got all 10 calls, but we got to just say, oh, good, we got all 10 calls because it scares Bennett, so we're not going to ring the bells like what we normally did. Okay, you guys, Dynamic Recycling, did you hear me? We're going to be quiet about it because it bothers Bennett. So, yay! Okay, let's do the hands. Yeah.
He's waiting for it, too.
Yeah, because we want him to come back next year and give us an update, so we don't want him to be scared to death. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you're at home this morning. You're trying to make the decision to call in a pledge. What would you say to him?
Call in because this network is amazing, and I didn't think I had any other options when I was to the final stages of the insurance plea, and they came to my aid when I needed it and more than I ever expected. And I can't thank the crew behind everything, the callers, everyone taking the calls, and everyone behind the Children's Miracle Network. They are amazing people. They are angels on earth.
You started our morning off on the right foot. Thank you for coming in. It was really
Thank
good
you.
meeting you.
You
You're
too.
listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Media Group.